Oh, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever. Welcome to the Power, and we're continuing reading the Shut Off the Giving by Mark Mason. Last episode, we'll talk about our beliefs and should we believe in ourselves. But today, we're gonna tackle the sub part of the danger of pure certainty and you should kill yourself now. No, actually, it's Mason law of avoidance. Okay, anyway, without any further ado, let's just get to the reading part. The first chapter is the danger of pure certainty. Let's get to the reading. Erin sits across me at the sushi restaurant and tries to explain why she doesn't believe in that. It's been almost 3 hours and she eaten exactly 4 cucumber rolls and drunk an entire bottle of sake by herself. In fact, she's about to halfway through the bottle number 2 now. It's 4 o'clock and on a Tuesday afternoon. I didn't invite her here. She found out where I was via the internet and flew to come to find me. Again, she's done this before. You see, Erin is convinced that she can cure that, but she's also convinced that she needs my help to do it. But now my help is like business sense. If she just needs some PR advice on something, that would be one thing. No, it's more than that. She needs me to be her boyfriend. Why? After 3 hours of questioning and a bottle of a bottle and a half of sake, it still isn't clear. My fiance was with us at the restaurant, by the way. Erin thought it is important that she be included in the discussion. Erin wanted her to know that she was willing to share me and that my girlfriend, now wife, shouldn't feel threatened by her. I met Erin at a self-help seminar in 2008. She seemed like a nice enough person, a little bit on the woo-woo side, knew a J side of things. But she was a lawyer and had gone into an Ivy League school. And I was clearly smart, and what she was clearly smart, and she laughed at my joke, though I thought I was cute. So of course, knowing me, I slept with her. Okay, I didn't see that one coming. One later, she invited me to uproot across the country and move with her. This struck me as somewhat a red flag, so I tried to break things off with her. She responded by saying that she would kill herself if I refused to be with her. Okay, so make that 2 red flags. I promptly blocked her from my emails and all my devices. This would slow her down but not stop her. Years before I met her, Erin had gotten into a car accident and nearly died. Actually, she had medically died for a few moments. All brain activity had stopped, but she had somehow miraculously been revived. When she came back, she claimed everything that had changed. She became a very spiritual person. She became interested in and started believing in energy healing and angels and universal consciousness and tarot card. I hate when I do that. She also believed that she had become a healer and an empath and that she could see the future. And for whatever reason, upon meeting me, she decided that she and I would decide to save the world together to cure death, as she put it. After that, okay. God damn it, this book. I love it so much. She began to create new email addresses, sometimes sending me as many as dozen angry emails in a single day. She created like fake Facebook and Twitter accounts that she used to harass me as well as people close to me. She created a website identical to mine and wrote dozens of articles claiming that I was her ex-boyfriend and that I had lied to her and cheated her. That I had promised to marry her and that she and I belonged together. When I contacted her to take the site down, she said that she would take it down if only I flew to California and be with her. That was her idea of a compromise. And through all of this, her justification was the same. I was destined to be her. That God who had preordained it. That she literally woke up in the middle of the night to the voice of angels commenting that our special relationship was to be harbinger of the new age of permanent peace on earth. Yes, you really told me this. Really? Is this for the sake of writing books, maybe? By the time we were sitting in the sushi restaurant together, there had been thousands of emails, whether I responded or didn't respond. Replied respectfully or replied angrily. Nothing ever changed. Her mind never changed. Her belief never budged. This had gone on for over 7 years by then. And counting still, wow. And so it was in this small sushi restaurant with Erin guzzling sake and babbling for hours how she'd cured her cat kidney stone energy tapping with some. Wait, that something occurred to me. Wait, yeah, okay. Erin is a self improvement junkie. She spent tens of thousands of dollars on books, seminars, and courses. And the craziest part of all this that Erin embodies all the lessons she learned to a T. To a T. What does that mean? I don't know. She has her dream. She stay persistent with it, and she visualize and takes action. And whether the rejection or and the failure and the get up and tries again, she relentlessly positive. She thinks pretty damn highly of herself. I mean, she claimed to heal the cat the same way Jesus healed us. Come on, man. And yet her values are so effed up that none of this matter. The fact that she does everything right doesn't make her right. The fact there is certainty in her that refuses to relinquish itself. She has told me this in so many words that she know her fixation in completely irrational and unhealthy and is making both her and me unhappy. But for some reason, it feels so right to her that she can ignore it and she can stop. In the middle of mid 1990s, psychology Roy Baumeister began researching the concept of evil. Basically, look at two people who do bad things and at what they do them. Sorry, the song that I'm listening to is kind of bothering me right now, but I like this song, so I just want to keep listening to it. At the time, it was assumed that people did bad things because they felt horrible about themselves. That is, they had low self-esteem. One of Baumeister's first surprising finding was that this was often not true. In fact, it was usually the opposite. Some of the worst criminals felt pretty damn good about themselves. And it was the feeling good about themselves in spite of the reality around them that gave them the sense of justification for hurting and I hate, stop it, Deva. Okay. The second for hurting and disrespecting others. For individuals to feel justified in doing horrible things to other people, they must feel an unwavering certainty in their own righteousness, in their own beliefs and deservedness. Racist to resist things because they're certain about their genetic superiority. Religious fanatics blow themselves up and murder dozens of people because oh my god. There's a ton of place in heaven. Us Martin. Oh, that's not fine. Oh man. Come on, I can't read that. Men are and abuse women of their certainty that they entitled to woman bodies. Oh my god, this is too wild for me. Evil people never believe that they are evil. Rather, they believe that everyone else is evil. In controversial experiment, oh my god, I'm gonna kick myself in the ball later. In controversial experiment, now simply known as the Milgram experiment, named the psychologist named Stanley Milgram. Researcher told normal people that they were to punish other volunteers for breaking various rules, and punish them they did, sometimes escalating the punishment to the point of physical abuse. Almost none of the punisher objected or asked for explanation. On the contrary, many of them were seemed to relish the certainty of the moral righteousness bestowed upon them by the experiments. The problem here is that not only the certainty unattainable, but the pursuit of certain often breeds more and worse insecurity. Many people have an unshakable certainty in their abilities at their job and the amount of salary they would be making that month. But that certainty made them feel worse, not better. They see others getting promoted over them and they feel slighted. They feel unappreciated and under knowledge oh, that's a hard word. Under acknowledged. Even a behavior as simple as sneaking a peek at your boyfriend's text messages or asking a friend what people are saying about you is driven by insecurity and what aching desire to be certain. You can check your boyfriend's text messages and find nothing, but that rarely end of it. You may start wondering if he has second phone. You can feel slighted and step over at work to explain why you miss on a promotion. But then that causes you to distrust your coworkers and second guess everything they say to you and how they think they feel about you, which in turn make you even less likely to get promoted. You can keep on pursuing that special someone you're supposed to be with, but with each rebuff advance and each lonely night, you only begin to question more and more what you're doing wrong. And in this moment of insecurity, of deep despair, that we become so susceptible to an insidious entitlement, believing that we deserve to cheat the little to get our way, that other people deserve to be punished, that we deserve to take what we want and sometimes violently. It's the backward law again. The more you try to be certain about something, the more uncertain and insecure you will feel. But the converse is true as well. The more you embrace being uncertain and unknowing, the more comfortable you will feel in knowing that what you do not know. Uncertainty removes our judgment of others. It primes the unnecessary stereotyping and biases that we otherwise feel when we are see somebody on TV, in the office, or on the street. Uncertainty also relieves us of our judgment of ourselves. We don't know if we're lovable or not. We don't know if we're how attractive we are. We don't know how successful we could potentially become. The only way to achieve this thing is to remain uncertain of them and be open to finding them out through experience. Wow, that's actually pretty good motivation. Uncertainty is the root of all progresses and all growth. As the old as the old adage go, a man who believes he knows everything learns nothing. We cannot learn anything without first knowing something. The more we admit we do not know, the more opportunities we gain to learn. Our values are imperfect and incomplete, and assume that they are perfect and incomplete to put us dangerously dogmatic mindset that breed entitlement and avoid responsibility. The only way to solve our problem is to first admit that our action and belief up to this point have been wrong and they are not working. This openness to being wrong must exist for any real exchange or growth to take place. Before we can look at our values and prioritization and change them into better, healthier ones, we must first become uncertain of our current value. We must intellectually strip them away, see their faults and biases, see how they don't fit in with much of the rest of the world, to stare our own ignorance in the face and concede, because our own ignorance is greater than all of us. Enough about that. Let's continue to the next part, which is Mason's law of avoidance. Chances that you heard of the form of Parkinson law. Work expands so as to fill up the time available for its completion. You've also undoubtedly heard Murphy's law. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. The next time you're at Swanky cocktail party and you want to impress somebody, try dropping Manson's law of avoidance on them. The more something threatens your identity, the more you will avoid it. Yeah, yeah, a bit true actually. Okay, Manson's law, pretty good, I'd say. That the that that means the more something threatens to change how you view yourself, how successful slash unsuccessful you believe yourself to be, or how well you see yourself living up to your values, the more you will avoid ever getting around to doing it. There's a certain comfort that comes with knowing how you fit in the world. Anything that shakes up that comfort, even if it could potentially make your life better, is inherently scary. Manson's law applies to both good and bad things in life. Making millions of dollars could threaten your identity just as much as losing all of your money. Become a famous rock star would threaten your identity just as much as losing your job. This is why people are often so afraid of success, for the exact same reason. True, true. They afraid of failures. It threatens who they believe themselves to be. You're avoiding writing that screenplay you always dream of because doing so would call into a question your identity as a practical insurance adjuster. Okay, you avoid talking to your husband about being more adventurous in the bedroom because that the conversation would challenge your identity as a good moral woman. You avoid telling your friend that you don't want to see him anymore because ending the friendship could conflict with your identity as a nice, forgiving person. These are good, important opportunities that we could consistently pass up because they threaten to change how we view and feel about ourselves. They threaten our value that we've chosen and have learned to live up to that point. I had a friend who, for the longest time, talked about putting his artwork online and try to make a go as a professional, or at least semi-professional artist. He talked about it for years. He saved up money, even built a few different websites and upload his portfolio, but it never launched. There was some reason the resolution on his work wasn't good enough, or he had just painted something better, or hasn't in a position to dedicate enough time to do it yet. Years pa- sorry, Years passed and he never did give up his real job. Why? Because despite dreaming about making a living through his art, the real potential of becoming an artist nobody likes was far, far scarier than remaining as an artist nobody heard of. Ooh, that's actually deep. Or at least he was comfortable with using being an artist nobody heard of. I had another friend who was a party guy, always going out, drinking, and chasing girls. After years of living the high life, he found himself terribly lonely, depressed, unhealthy. He wanted to give up his party lifestyle. He spoke with a fierce jealousy of those who were in relationship and more settled down than he was. Yet he never changed. For years he went on empty night and after empty night, bottle after bottle, always some excuses, always some reason he couldn't slow down. Giving up that lifestyle threatened his identity too much. The party guy was all he known to be. To give that up would be like committing psychological harakiri. Ooh, harakiri, I like that. We all have values for ourselves. We protect the values, we try to live up to them, and we justify them as maintaining them, even if we don't mean it to it. That's how our brain is wired. As not before, we are unfairly biased toward what we already know, what we believe to be certain. If I believe that I'm a nice guy, I'll avoid situations that could potentially contradict that belief. If I believe I'm an awesome cook, I'll seek out the opportunities to prove that to myself over and over again. This belief always takes precedence until we change how we view ourselves, what we believe we are, what we believe we are, and we are not. We cannot overcome our avoidance and anxiety. We cannot change in this way. Knowing yourself or finding yourself can be dangerous. It can summon you to strict role and saddle you with unnecessary expectation. It can close you off the inner potential and other opportunities. I say don't find yourself. I say never know who you are. Because that is what keeps you from thriving and discovering, and it forces you to remain humble in your judgment and accepting your difference in others. Wow, that's actually inspiring. Wow, actually inspiring from Mark Manson book. What? Really? There's more. Okay, if you sorry, if you didn't hear it, the Mark Manson law of avoidance is the more something threatens your identity, the more you will avoid it, because we build up our identity up to this point. But if we strive to be something that potentially could make us different from our current identity, that could also wipe our psychological thing. Wow. And the last one too. A crazy woman there. Ugh. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. The next part will be about you should kill yourself now. No, actually, you just wait. Can you see? Kill yourself. And how to be a little less certain of yourself. Two parts again, and that will be the all for this chapter, chapter 6. Wow, actually really good. I really recommend this book over than the next book. Okay, well, that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Anyway, if you want to know the song that I'm listening to now, it's Rancak Bana by, wait, who is the singer? Mamang Keswar, yeah. Thank you. That's all from me. Bye.